Hello. The ability of perceiving our surrounding is mostly depend on the coordinated effort of our nervous system. And the functional unit or the fundamental unit of nervous system is known as neuron. So we can say that neuron is a group of specialized cells of nervous system which help to transmit signals throughout the body. Therefore, the structural and functional unit of nervous system is neuron. Today, we are going to discuss the structure and function of different parts of neuron. Structurally, neuron has two main parts. One is cell body, another is processes. Let's start with the cell body. Cell body, which is also known as soma or cyton, which is according to the picture is something like star-shaped structure. This is the cell body. Inside the cell body, there is cytoplasm, which is known as neuroplasm. Cytoplasm consists of a prominent nucleus, the middle. In addition to the nucleus, there also exists some cellular organelles like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. And also some granular bodies. As you see, there are scattered some granular bodies which are known as meso granules. Meso granules are actually rough endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes and help in the synthesis of protein. After cell body, we are going to talk about the processes. Processes are of two types. One is long, another is short. The short processes is known as dendrons with branches known as dendrites. The dendrons are the short processes of neuron originating from the cell body, variable in numbers, and the function of the dendrons or dendrites is to receive electrochemical impulses from other neuron or sensory cells and to transmit them towards the cell body. There we come to the axon portion. The axon is a long tubular structure or process originated from a comparatively solemn portion of the cell body or cyton, which is known as axon hillock. This is axon hillock, the solemn portion of the cell body from which axon generates, with almost similar diameter throughout its length. The cytoplasm of axon is known as axoplasm. This is axoplasm. We can say it as axoplasm. The cytoplasm of axon is known as axoplasm. This axoplasm is more or less similar to that of the cytoplasm present over there in the cell body, but the point of difference is in axoplasm the meso granules are absent. The outer membrane of the axoplasm, here is the outer membrane of the axoplasm, which is known as axolemma. This is axolemma, the outer covering of the axoplasm. This is axolemma. This is axolemma. And axon is further covered by myelin sheath type of fatty structure with Schwann cell, and this myelin sheath is formed from the Schwann cell. As you see, the Schwann cell over the myelin sheath. This is the Schwann cell. These are the Schwann cells actually over the myelin sheath, and the outermost covering of the myelin sheath is known as neurolemma. This is the neurolemma. The outermost covering, red color, is neurolemma. The myelin sheath actually insulates the axon. This is actually insulates the axon and protects axon from the shock or pressure. Actually, what happens the myelin sheath also help to move nerve impulse faster along the length of the axon. As I have mentioned earlier that this particular myelin sheath insulates the axon, no ionic exchanges or exchange of ion can take place in that insulated portion. So there exists some uninsulated portion in between these two, along the length of the axon, and this uninsulated portion is known as node of Ranvier. Through this uninsulated portion, the exchange of ion or movement of ion takes place. Electrochemical impulses passes through this region. Finally, the axon terminates in a swollen or bulged distal portion, which is known as synaptic knob, which contains synaptic vesicles possessing neurotransmitter, and this neurotransmitter is a specialized group of chemical substances help to convey the electrochemical impulses from one neuron to another. These neurotransmitters are commonly GABA, gamma-rhinobutyric acid, or glutamate, etc. So, the overall function of axon will be: number one, to transmit signals away from the cell body. This is very much important, to transmit signal away from the cell body, or to convey impulses from dendrites or soma of one neuron to another. And if we consider the function of the neuron, there are basically three aspects of overall function of the neuron. One is receiving signals or information. Number two, processing or integrating those signals, and finally communicate signals to the target cells. And these target cells may be of neurons or nerve cell, or the muscle, or the glands. So the function of axon is to transmit signals away from the cell body, or to convey impulses from dendrites or soma of one neuron to another. And if we consider the overall function of the neuron, we can say that the overall function of the neuron has three aspects. One is to receive signals or information. The next one is processing or integrating those signals. And finally, to communicate signals to the target cells. And the target cells may be of nerve cells, muscles, or glands. So this is all about for today, the structure and function of different parts of neuron. In the next class, we'll discuss on the transmission of nerve impulse. through Neuron. Till then, goodbye. For testing your understanding of this lesson and more videos, log on to www.tubelessons.net.